I think in any good organization, there are just two assets, brand and people. If you have a great brand, and you have great people, you create enormous value through the emotional surplus in the consumer's mind, thanks to the brand and its image, that you are able to command a premium. And hence it's extremely important for marketeers and for companies to constantly keep reshaping their brands to create better value, not just for the consumer, but also to the company. At one level, you have a product innovation. At one level, you have a process innovation. At one level, you could have a business model innovation. They come in various shapes and sizes. Why is innovation important? I believe every brand must have at least one big innovation news every year and maybe two small news items in the same year. Innovation ensures that the brand has thought leadership in the category. If you're not innovative over time, people will say this is a tired old brand which is not keeping up with what I'm doing right now. And hence it's innovation which ensures that the brand is up to date in design terms, in sensory terms, in concept terms, and in relating to the consumer of today. Today, with the advent of multi-channels, you have the modern trade, you have the online channel, you have the specialty outlets. With this fragmentation of distribution happening, it's extremely important to understand who the shopper is in each of these channels, and how the behavior is happening out there. I believe the Indian mom and pop store will not die. Look at your shopper in terms of the time utility dimension, and I think that is where the bulk of the answers will lie as to why somebody goes to a modern store, why somebody goes online, and why somebody goes to a mom and pop store. People who have large budgets allocate 5% to digital and they think they've done a great job. Equally, people who have no budgets or small budgets allocate all 100% to digital and hence they think they've done a great job. I personally believe that the whole concept of big data and digital will play a significant role. I think thanks to big data and social media and the collaboration there, we will actually know the taste profile of consumers. What does he like? Is he a Manchester United fan? Is he an Arsenal fan? What is he really passionate about? What type of music? What type of food? Etc. And using that, I think the brand can then say, here are a list of 5 options, which I can offer the consumer, and these come at various value, various utilities. And that, I think, is going to be the future of digital marketing. Brands can get noticed for a number of reasons. They can get noticed for the right reasons, they can get noticed for the wrong reasons. I believe all brand communication must be on strategy. Whatever is the brand strategy, if the strategy of the brand is to grow a market, then your communication must be around the motivating argument to grow that market. If you are going to be the rebel, with a cause or without a cause, then your whole marketing has to be in that mode. You cannot confuse your strategy and communication. So quite often I find brands, their intent and strategy is one direction, their communication is completely another direction. Brands matter to people, and brands must be polished, and brands must always be given to the best brains in that company to be managed. I think what makes a company or a brand stand out, you have to go back and ask, what is the purpose of the company or the purpose of the brand? Why does this brand exist? Why does this company exist? And does it deliver that purpose in the best way that benefits all stakeholders? So for me, the first thing about a brand is it must always be value relevant. And knowing that sense of how much premium I can command vis-a-vis the nearest competitor, vis-a-vis the commodity, vis-a-vis the popular variant or whatever it is, I think is an important skill. The brand should always aim for thought leadership. It doesn't matter if you're the number 1 brand or the number 4 brand. Every brand in a category has the opportunity to drive thought leadership. It's whether they want to do it or not. The biggest hurdle we have is hyper competition. This data is 15 categories. In the year 2000, between them in 15 categories, we had 8,000 brands in India. For the same 15 categories, in 2013, we have 13,000 brands. We are brand heavy. The quality is completely variable. The ability to stand out amongst this whole bunch of choice is the biggest challenge for every brand. It doesn't matter whether there are 200 brands in shampoo or soaps or mobile phones or whatever it is. People remember 7 or 10. So your ability to have a clear position which separates you from the 193 brands and puts you there in the ladder of reckoning in the consumer's head, that is the most important thing to do. I believe the biggest thing which made India stand out, and many people do not look at it this way, is actually the Goldman Sachs report of 2001. Till 2001, the world had not discovered India and its potential as a long-term opportunity. In 2001, when Jim O'Neill and Goldman Sachs released this report to say, here are 4 countries, BRIC, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and you can do great business out here, then people suddenly stood up and said, wow, maybe I can invest in India now. Brazil has a challenge of restrictions and the market saying you need to produce here, you need to do things here. Russia has a problem of one-party rule. China has a problem of communism. India's biggest strength is it's democratic. India's biggest strength is it's a free market, and that's what it should really make India stand out. India has high vitality, equally has high volatility. So if you really want to work in India and really invest in India, you need to look at a 10-year horizon and not a 1 or a 2 years. And you need to hire people with the right values, the values which fit with your brand and company in order to grow India.